your good intentions are, of similar value as used toilet paper. Your good intentions are worth shit. Without the education, without the action, without putting yourself around the right peer group, you might as well have used toilet paper. The most wasted thing in the goddamn world is human potential. Most of humans don't do shit with their potential. And this get-rich-quick thing it's a lie, it's a fantasy, and the longer you perpetuate that fantasy in the head, the more you're going to stay poor. The more you're going to stay poor. Instead of like, what could I do right now to contribute to my future wealth? Have that thought. What could I invest in today that would contribute to my future wealth? Who do I need to know? What type of people do I need to be associated with? Where would I learn that from? Where would I find these people? That's why you're here. You already know this deep inside. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You already know this deep inside. You know that's bullshit. But you like to perpetuate this fairy tale because it takes more effort to wake up and just face the reality of it and get to work on that shit. And that's what serious people are going to do. That's what the people in this room have done with their lives. That's what some of the more serious people listening at home have done. If you don't do that, you're just fucked. You're fucked for life. Nothing else is going to happen. There's no get-rich-quick scheme. It's a scheme. It's a lie. It's a fantasy. Just do what's necessary. There's clear steps. I just talked about this. There's very clear steps to go build your current income, start creating secondary income sources, and a third income source, and a fourth income source, and reinvest that money. Build those income sources away from your job until you have so much money you can't afford to go to your job because you're making too much money from the things that are not your job. So optimize your earnings to your job, then create those second and third and fourth income sources until those are so much bigger than your first one, it doesn't make sense for you to show up to your job anymore. The opportunity cost is too high. And then you can work on those and grow them even more. And then you take that surplus cash and you invest it, and you invest it, and you invest it. And if you don't understand entrepreneurship, that's what this program is. If you don't understand entrepreneurship, if you don't understand the fundamentals of how a business fits together and the sort of things you're going to have to know, the technical things, the practical things, the psychological things, the philosophies you have to internalize, you're not going to be much good at it. You're not going to be much good at it. And that's just life. That's just life. That's what I had to go through. That's everybody here had to pay their dues and learn that shit one way or another. And a lot of these people were already extraordinarily successful. And actually, they all went through this program with me. What did you guys think about the Moneyberg Mentoring Program?
Awesome. Fantastic.
Life-changing.
Fantastic. Life-changing. Awesome. So, and these are people that are pretty wealthy. These are people that are far above average in their ambition. And they found it very useful. Would it be useful to the common person that'd be listening, the guy that wants to get rich quick? Might this be a better path for him?
Yes. Definitely.
So, it's up to you. It's a lifestyle choice. It's up to you. Forget about get rich quick, though. Forget about get rich quick. What else we got here? Ismail, what is a realistic timeline for a hardworking Uber driver making, sorry, the comment shifted. I have to scroll to find you again, buddy. Making $40,000 a year to being a multimillionaire. It depends on you. Depends on your work ethic. It depends on your mentors. Depends on your peer group, and it depends on your work ethic. I think I would have been fucked. I would have been fucked if I didn't have high quality people around me. I had to get rid of the losers. I would have died by now. I wouldn't have lived. I had to get rid of the losers and replace them with higher quality people with higher level ambitions, valued education, value hard work ethic, value integrity. And people that don't have that, they're not going anywhere. It's not going to work out. There's no other way. There's no other short. That is the shortcut. That is the fucking shortcut. There's no other way. There's no other way. So it depends on you. If you want my help, I can help you. But it depends on you. But it's going to take hard work. It's not going to be overnight. There's a clearer path to creating wealth, but it's going to take hard work. You're going to have to be a contributor to the group. You're going to have to make friends with other people in the group. You want that peer group. You want me as your friend. You want them as your friend. And you surround yourself with a bunch of winners, you're going to be a winner too. You surround yourself with a bunch of mediocre people, you're going to be swimming in piss your whole life. There's no other way. Jonah, hey Derek. Still interested to start a business when it has limited or no possibilities to expand? Is it still interesting to start a business when it has no or limited? Why the fuck do you want to start a business that you can't grow? Why would you spend your time on that? I don't want to say his name, but you guys know his name. But I had one of my mentors was very useful to me. He said he doesn't want to start any business that doesn't have at least $1 billion potential, at least $1 billion. Now, maybe he has bigger dreams or higher self-esteem than me in some way. Says, I don't have a business that's going to be worth $1 billion later. But that's his take on it. Is like, if you couldn't imagine that it could be worth $1 billion, that it'll take you the same effort. It'll take you a similar effort to have some little small time something that might make you a couple $100,000 or $1 million a year. In his opinion, it would take you a similar effort to grow something that's much more scalable that could make tremendous wealth. And he's a multi-billionaire. So, now when he told me that, he was more poverty than the first time I heard him say that. He's only worth about 600 million. So he must have been struggling, but he's worth a couple billion today. So, he's living that life. Those aren't inspirational words. He's living that lifestyle. He's living that way. So, why would you want to start a business that's not going anywhere? It take you a similar effort to build something that could be tremendously valuable. You don't have to go through a lot of the same processes. A lot of you guys are involved in various business stuff. Like, you don't have to go through a lot of the same processes either way. So why do something that's capped? I don't get that. And that's like a child's game. That's when I was 10 and 11, I had 4 paper routes. I didn't do any of them. But I just outsourced them to the neighborhood kids and gave them 75% of the money, and I kept 25% of the money. And I thought I was a big-time business guy because nobody else that was 10 years old was doing stuff like that. So, but pretty soon you realize, well, how many fucking paper routes can you get? You have to start thinking about other income sources because you're only going to make so much money doing that. So that was a useful thought for a child, but now that I've shared that story with you, just bypass that part and go do similar effort to make something a lot more scalable. If you're serious about help, let me know. Bilal, what are your thoughts on technology stocks in the current market? I think you're going to have, look, some of them, they might maintain just fine. I think some of them are going to go down in value because they're priced at preposterous valuations right now. Tesla has $1.93 in earnings. All right, so when you buy Tesla at $2,200 and the earnings are $1.93 and you're paying over 1,100 times earnings, I mean, what miracle has to happen in the background? Like, Elon misses deadlines regularly, and he is one of God's chosen people. It seems he does seem to be one of God's chosen people. That brilliant guy. I don't understand his taste in women, but brilliant guy. A lot of smart things going on there, but I mean, an awful lot of things got to go right to maintain a 1,100 times PE ratio. An awful lot of things got to go right for that to maintain. Now, can it go up higher? Yeah, but don't pretend it's an investment. If you want to buy it as a speculation, if you want to buy it because you're a gambler, okay, but at least call it what it is. I wouldn't buy something at 1,100 times earnings and say this is a great investment. This is going to, it's going to 10,000. Someday they'll have $3 in earnings and it'll be 10,000. So I don't know. I think an awful lot of things got to go right for that stock to go up much more. Versus there's a lot of other stocks out there. Now, look, another thing that could happen in tech is you just have, it could maintain, pretty much where it's at, and you see a lot of other stocks that are undervalued that go up and drive up the S&P overall because some of those other stocks, they go up in value and the S&P can still continue all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. Well, the tech stuff staying pretty flat, and there's an argument that people are you're going to have a sector rotation where some people are going to trade out of, as soon as the economy changes, when things are more open and people are, getting back to a normal economy, that, airlines can go up. And I'm not recommending those, but a lot of sectors that are beat up right now, I have other sectors I like much better than airlines. I just said that as an example. But a lot of things that are beat up, as they have more patronage, those businesses can do a lot better. And I think money has to shift that when their earnings start getting better and expected earnings start getting better, I think a lot of that money is going to rotate out of tech and into some of those other stocks. It doesn't mean the tech's going to fall off a cliff. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I just think there's a bias towards it right now. And one of the reasons it's high is just because there's a bunch of idiots, a bunch of these Robinhood traders, and they don't know anything about stocks. They don't know anything about stocks. And they're just like, whatever the new trendy thing is, we'll just all go buy that and pile onto it. And then you're playing a biggest fool's game of like, well, I hope there's a bigger idiot than me that piles in behind me so I can, sell it for a bit higher. And I mean, see how that works out for you. This traders, I'm gonna be a day trader. All right, cool, but 90% of those accounts get blown up in 3 months. 80% of people lose 100% of their money in 90 days. That's the stats on trading. 80% of people lose 100% of their money in their first 90 days. So, all the richest people in the world are not day traders. They're investors. The wealthiest people are investors. So, if you want to pay 1,100 times for a PE for a stock, and you think that's a great investment, I'm curious how it turns out for you, but I think there's a lot better investments. I think there's tremendously better investments out there. Tech's going to do fine long term, but there's a lot better investments in my opinion. Moneyberg Mentoring is a general business course of like how to think and what are the fundamentals of business. This is a program about helping you make better decisions. I'm trying to give you some frameworks for how I'm thinking about things and how it's allowed me to go make more money. Just to say again, it's like, well, you're probably going to die sooner than you'd like. So how much time do you want to spend with the wrong people? This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a get rich. Anything that I included as a homework assignment is something that's going to benefit your life long term. Derek, what's the one big thing? The one big thing is that you showed up here. I'm just saying, hey man, you can do a lot better and you're going to.